Well, good morning, YouTube. So I'm sitting up here next to the Kenworth, and the whole idea today was I was going to start prepping it to get ready to pull these rear ends out. And what I really wanted to do was, where we've got it parked, there's like a thin layer of gravel underneath it on top of the asphalt. So I really wanted to kind of get all that cleaned up so that as I'm crawling around underneath the truck, I don't have rocks and stuff jabbing me in my shoulder blades and whatnot. And unfortunately, the battery was dead on it. So right now I've got the dually hooked to it and I'm charging up the batteries. And hopefully I can get it started here in a few minutes and move it out of the way, clean up that ground, and then put it back. But while I was sitting here, I was like, you know what? It's about time I got back on this project. You know, we started this back in January, February, and then we just got so busy between the trucking company and the rally schedule. We have had like no time whatsoever to work on this thing. So I went through last night and with my daughter's help, and we categorized different playlists. And so there is one now titled Project Kenworth, and there's only 3 videos in it. We've had this truck for like 4 or 5 months now. So we really need to get back on it. We really need to get this truck on the road because it hopefully will save us money than having to rent the truck from Marcel. So I really want to put a focus on getting this thing done. And I got a little bit of time now with Talon running the truck. So, that's why we're starting this project. But while I'm sitting here waiting for the battery to charge, I remember that Talon and I filmed a video, I think back in February or something, of us coming up here and really cleaning the truck up. You know, it's been sitting a long time. There was a lot of mold and mildew on it. There's a lot of grease buildup on it. So we spent like half a day up here disassembling parts of the truck, washing it all up with the pressure washer, scrubbing it clean, so that we're not just dealing with filthy mess while we work on it. And I never edited the video. I never posted it, never did anything with it. So while I'm sitting here, I went ahead and did that. And so check out what's going on here. As you can tell, it was a while ago. There's a little less fur on my face in the video, which is kind of funny because sometimes I forget how I looked without the beard because I'm so used to having it now. But check it out. The truck ended up looking way better now that we cleaned it up. And then hopefully we can get started on the next project here really, really soon. So follow along, see what happens. All right, everybody, Amsel Adam here again. Welcome back to the channel. Today, Talon and I are back up working on the big yellow Kenworth. Our goal for today is to get the undercarriage and whatnot clean so that as we work on it, trying to do some mechanical repairs on it, we're not getting nasty and greasy, but also that way we have a fresh, clean surface so I can monitor it for leaks as we start using it, doing some test runs. Most of what's on there is built up crud from years of use. I mean, keep in mind the truck's 27 years old. Chances are it's good likelihood it's never been cleaned underneath. So we're not trying to make it perfect, just don't want the years of buildup on there. Not only that, but as we pull that second drive axle out of there to get it re-geared, I don't want dirt and crap falling in there. So the cleaner you can make it before you start working on it, the less chance you have of contaminating things in the future. So this is what we're going to start by pulling a lot of these side panels here off. That way we get good access to the frame, the fuel tanks, and so on and so forth. We're going to pressure wash inside of the frame. And we came up yesterday and actually scraped a lot of the grease out of this area. If you remember some of the previous videos, there was a big clump of grease in here that had fallen out from underneath the fifth wheel. We scraped all the excess grease off of the fifth wheel itself. Took a picture of, we actually almost filled 2 small boxes full of grease. It was just excessive buildup. Now, fifth wheels have to be greased for them to work properly, but it was just excessive, just years of buildup. So we're also going to pop the hood on it. On the inside of the hood, there is a sound deadening barrier, insulative sound deadening barrier, and it's just old and dry rotted. So we're going to remove it. That way we can kind of pressure wash all the inside of the hood as everything as well. Kind of try to get rid of all the mold and the mildew that's on it. No, it's not going to bring the paint back, but it'll just make it look a little bit better for now. And that's all going to get sanded off anyways as we start the paint job here in the near future. So with the pressure washer running, it's going to be loud and ugly and wet and nasty. So we're probably just going to set you up on time lapse so you can see everything happening. All right, everybody, I don't know if you can tell from on the camera whether that made much of a difference or not, but it really did make a huge difference from what we can see. Now, it's not perfect, and I'll probably have to do this again, but I got a lot of the bulk off. I mean, just like half-inch crust on some of the bottom of the fuel tanks and the bracketry and everything. So they're not clean by any means, but at least we get that bulk off of there. So I'll probably have to come up and do this again. Probably spray it down with some really good degreaser first, now that all the bulk is gone, and hopefully it'll make a big difference. Well, guys, it looks like I got pretty lucky there. It only took about 15 or 20 minutes while I edited that video, and the Kenworth fired right up. So it was low enough it wouldn't start, but they weren't completely dead. And it's only been a few weeks since I started to run the truck, so it's really surprised that they were even dead. It's been doing really well while it's been sitting there. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and back the dually up some, move that out of the way, which is going to be fun because there's no seats in it, so I got to stand up while I try to drive it around the parking lot in there. We're going to get this parking lot cleaned up a little bit and go from there. All right, guys, well, I had you all set up in there in the time lapse, and I cleaned up the parking lot. I come back, the phone's on the floor, so I haven't even looked at the footage yet to know how far we got. But we got it cleaned up pretty good, and I don't know whether it showed up in there, the time lapse or not, but there was a spot I had to pull the shovel out and actually scrape, because where we had cleaned the truck at, all that grease and grime and junk that was on the bottom of that truck all fell straight down. And of course, when the water dried up, it left kind of a mess there. So I'll show you the spot here just in case it didn't show up there. You can see the markings on the asphalt here. Now I've got all the bulk gone, but it was literally ½ an inch thick in all those really dark spots of just the grime that fell off the bottom of the truck when we cleaned it. All right, guys, so I got it all cleaned up and I got the truck moved back in position. I did flip it around, so nose is now that way instead of that way. That's gonna get the drives on the better ground, in my opinion, for doing the service that we're gonna do. Here, you know, the drives are on the asphalt, but if you look up front, you can see there's still a bunch of gravel and stuff where the parking lot actually ends and the gravel driveway begins. But I'm not doing any work up there on this next project. It's all gonna be back here in this area. So I think this is the best place to put it for now. So I need to get it up on some jack stands, probably pull the wheels off just to give me better access and start working on it, but that is not. I know this video really wasn't all that long, and I had the camera set up in a few different places to get some like kind of cool footage or time lapse of me moving things and cleaning things. And I didn't bring my tripod, so no matter how I set the camera, I came back and it had fallen over or something like that, or I think maybe even overheated and turned itself off because the sun's shining through the windshield on the truck. So I don't know. So it is what it is. You've got what you got. And I think that's going to close it for this video. The actual process for doing the rear ends will be a whole nother video all on its own. So thanks again for watching. Stay tuned. Give us a big thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe, share with your friends and family. And until the next time I see you, keep those engines running.